I'm Quackster, and this is Quack in the Dark. Before we begin tonight's stories, you should know exactly how this works. This isn't just a storytelling podcast. It's a test of instinct. Every episode, you'll hear 4 unsettling stories. Some are true, some are fiction. Your job is to decide which is which. At the end of the episode, you make your choice. Then in the reveal episode, I'll tell you what actually happened at the later part of the week. Sounds simple? It isn't. Because the real stories rarely sound real, and the fictional ones often feel possible. That's what makes this unsettling. These aren't ghost stories filled with dramatic music and obvious endings. These are the kinds of stories people tell quietly, late at night, after something strange happens. Stories about moments that feel slightly off. Moments that don't make any sense until later. Moments that stay with you long after they're over. The kind you replay in your head when you're trying to fall asleep. You might be listening to this in your room, or driving, or lying in bed with the lights off. Wherever you are, get comfortable, but not too comfortable. Because once we begin, you'll start listening differently. Every sound in your house will feel louder. Every shadow will feel closer. And every story you will feel just believable enough. Tonight's episode is where it all starts. 4 stories, only one is true. Listen carefully. Trust your instincts. And when it's over, decide which one actually happened. Before we begin, after each episode, I will leave a link in the description for you guys to come to my Discord or the Facebook I created for the show. You guys will be able to answer a poll there on which episode or which story you think is fact and lock in those answers. Later on in the week, I will reveal what is fact and what was fiction. Let's begin. There's something about working late, alone, in a quiet building during the day. Everything feels normal, safe, occupied. But after midnight, when the lights are off and the hallways are empty, buildings feel different. Bigger, quieter, almost like they're waiting. If you've ever stayed late at work by yourself, you probably know the feeling. The one where it suddenly feels like you're not alone anymore. Most people ignore it. One security guard couldn't. Marcus had worked overnight security for nearly 3 years. He liked nights. Less noise, less interaction, no office politics. Just him, a desk, and 12 security monitors glowing softly in the dark lobby. The building had closed during the pandemic and never reopened. 3 floors of empty offices. Cubicles frozen in time, coffee mugs still sitting on their desks, whiteboards with unfinished meetings. From midnight to 6 a.m., the building belonged to Marcus. Or at least, he thought it did. Most nights were uneventful. He did a patrol every hour, logged door checks, reviewed cameras. At 1:13 a.m., camera 12 flickered. Marcus barely looked up at first. Then he saw it. A chair rolling slowly out of a cubicle. Not pushed, not tipped, rolling. It drifted into the center of the hallway and stopped. Marcus leaned closer to the screen. "No way," he muttered. He rewound the footage. The chair moved again. Same speed, same direction. No one visible. No shadow. Just movement. He checked the air vents on the blueprint monitor. None near that cubicle. He zoomed in. The wheels weren't spinning freely. It looked deliberate. Marcus grabbed his flashlight and stood up. This was part of the job. You see something strange, you verify it. That's it. No imagination, no jumping to conclusions. The elevator ride to the third floor felt longer than usual. When the doors opened, the hallway was silent. Completely still. The chair sat exactly where it had stopped in the footage. Marcus walked slowly towards it. The hum of the fluorescent lights buzzed overhead. He checked every cubicle, looked under desks, behind partitions, inside storage closets. Nothing. He placed his hand on the chair. It wasn't warm. He rolled it back into place and told himself he overreacted. Back at the security desk, he began filling out the log. 1:13 a.m. Chair movement. Possible draft. Investigated. No threat found. He exhaled. Glanced up at the monitors. Camera 12 showed the hallway again. The chair was no longer empty. Someone was sitting in it, facing the camera. Marcus froze. The figure didn't move, didn't blink, just sat there. Marcus leaned forward slowly. The camera resolution sharpened. The uniform looked familiar. The posture looked familiar. The face came into focus. It was him. Same jacket, same security badge, same tired expression. Marcus felt something shift in his chest. His breathing changed. He didn't move. Didn't look away. On the monitor, the other version of him slowly leaned forward, closer to the camera, as if steadying him. Marcus turned, slowly, toward the glass entrance doors behind him. In the dark reflection of the lobby, he saw himself. Sitting at the desk, by his reflection, wasn't moving. It was still facing the monitors, even though he had turned. Marcus didn't finish his shift. He left before 2:04 a.m. The next morning, he told management the cameras were malfunctioning. He refused to review the footage, and he never went back. 2 weeks later, the building was permanently closed. Camera 12 was listed in the final report as intermittently unstable. No saved footage, no archived copy. Just an incident log. Written in Marcus's handwriting. Security cameras are meant to show what's there. They don't invent things. They record. But here's what makes the story interesting. If it were true, there wouldn't be footage. Or there would be footage. There would be proof. And yet, Marcus never looked again. Would you? Or would you leave it alone? And hope you imagined it. That's one story. 3 left to go. Only one of them is real. And the real one might not be the one you expect. Let's hop over to number 2. Hotels are different. Temporary. Anonymous. People come and go. No history, no attachment. Just a key, a room number, and a night of sleep. But sometimes rooms remember things. And sometimes they don't like being empty. Just like in our next story. Lena had been driving for almost 9 hours when the warning light came on. Engine temperature. She pulled over once, waited, started again. 5 miles later, it came back. The nearest place to stop was a roadside motel just off the highway. The kind with that flickering neon sign, half the letters burned out. They can see. 3 letters in the lot. Or 3 cars in the lot, all spaced far apart. The lobby door chimed softly as she stepped inside. A man behind the counter looked up slowly. Didn't smile. Room for the night? He asked. Yeah, Lena said. Just one. He slid a key across the counter. Not a card. A key. 214, it read. 2nd floor, he said. End of the hall. That was it. No small talk, no welcome, just the key. The hallway upstairs smelled faintly like old carpet cleaner and something sweet, almost like perfume. Room 214 sat at the very end. Glass door. Lena unlocked it and stepped inside. The room looked normal enough. Bed, lamp, small table. But there was a smell. Faint, floral, like someone had sprayed perfume hours earlier and it hadn't quite faded. She showered quickly, exhausted from the drive, and turned off the lights. Within minutes, she was asleep. At 2:07 a.m., she woke suddenly, not from a sound, from a feeling like someone else was in the room. She lay still, listening. Then she heard it, breathing. Slow, steady, right beside the bed. Her own breathing caught. She held it. The other breathing continued. Close, too close. As if someone were just sitting inches away. Lena reached slowly toward the nightstand and grabbed her phone. The screen lit the room faintly. She turned on the flashlight and swung it towards the edge of the bed. Nothing was there. Empty carpet, empty chair, empty space. The breathing stopped. She sat up quickly and checked the entire room. Bathroom, closet, behind the curtains, nothing. She told herself it was exhaustion, road fatigue, half asleep dreaming. Still, she left the light on. Morning came slowly. When she checked out, she mentioned it casually to the clerk. "I think I was just overtired," she said, "but it felt like someone was sitting on the bed." The clerk didn't laugh, didn't reassure her. He just reached under the counter and pulled out a folded newspaper clipping. He slid it toward her. 5 years earlier, a woman had been found dead in room 214. Heart attack, alone. Seated upright on the edge of the bed. According to the report, she had been waiting for someone who never arrived. Lena felt something cold move along her chest. She left immediately. Drove until she found another hotel several hours away. Checked in, different place, different room. She sat her suitcase on the bed and turned to close the door. When she turned back, the mattress dipped right beside the suitcase, as if someone had just sat down. Now, hotels are strange places. People pass through, sleep, leave, but rooms don't reset completely. They hold impressions, sounds, moments, memories, or maybe fatigue and suggestion are enough to make anything feel real. So here's the question. If that happened to you once, would you ever stay in another hotel again? Or would every mattress feel the same? Slightly occupied. 2 stories down. 2 left. And remember, only one of them is true. Technology is supposed to make life easier. Navigation, location tracking, memory storage. It remembers everything. Where you go, where you've been. Sometimes it remembers places you don't. Now, before we get into this story, if you're enjoying Quack in the Dark, please like, follow the show, or leave a review no matter what platform you are listening to this on. It will really help the show continue. And please share it with someone who listens late at night. All right, final story. Evan had driven the same route home for years. Highway, exit 14. Left the gas station, 10 minutes to his driveway. Routine, the kind you drive, you can do without thinking. That night, he left a friend's place just after midnight. Roads empty, sky dark, radio low. His phone connected automatically to the car and opened the GPS navigation. Route home, 22 minutes, normal. He settled in, he drove. About 10 minutes in, the screen flickered, then recalculated. The route line shifted off the highway. He frowned. I didn't miss my exit. The screen updated again, recalculating. A new route appeared. Narrow road, unfamiliar name. He tapped the screen. End navigation. Nothing happened. The map stayed, The text appeared at the top. Continue straight, do not turn around. Evan stared at it. Very funny, he muttered, assuming it was a glitch. The GPS voice returned. Calm. Neutral. Continue straight. He thought he should have turned anyway, taken manual control. Instead, he followed. The road narrowed quickly. Streetlights disappeared. Trees closed in. No other cars. No houses. Just pavement cutting through the darkness. A wooden sign appeared ahead, barely visible in the headlights. He slowed. The words came into view. Welcome back. Evan felt a ripple of confusion. I've never been here, he said out loud. The GPS chimed softly. You have arrived. He stopped the car. The destination pin blinked on the screen. A house icon directly in front of him. There was no house, just a clearing in the trees. Empty, his phone buzzed into the console. A notification. Memory from 20 years ago. He picked it up slowly. The screen showed an old photo. 2 children standing in front of a small house. One of them was Evan. Younger, maybe about 8 years old. Smiling, the other child stood behind him, a boy. Evan's chest tightened. He recognized him. A friend from childhood. A friend who had disappeared, missing since 2003. The background of the photo came into focus. The same clearing. The same trees. The same place. Evan dropped the phone into his lap and looked out the windshield again. The clearing stretched silently ahead. No house, no lights, just darkness. He drove home without speaking. Didn't tell anyone, didn't report it. But sometimes, late at night, his phone connects to the car on its own. The map opens, screen glowing softly. And for a few seconds, before he can even close it, the GPS voice speaks. Quiet. Almost familiar. Recalculating route to home. Technology keeps records, photos, locations, history. It remembers everything, even moments you've forgotten or tried to. So ask yourself something. If your phone showed you a place you didn't remember going, would you assume it was a glitch? Or would you wonder when you were there? 3 stories down, 1 left. And this last one is the one that actually happened. Or is it? It starts with something simple. A phone call, late at night, unknown number after 3 a.m. That's never a good sign. Dana had lived in a townhouse for almost a year. 2 floors, quiet neighborhood, no roommates. She liked living alone. Everything stayed where she left it. No noise at night, no unexpected movement. Predictable. Comfortable. At 3:18 a.m., her phone rang. Unknown number. Half asleep, she reached on the nightstand and answered. Hello? Static. Then breathing. Slow. Close. She sat up slightly. Hello? A voice whispered. Stop walking around. Dana frowned, still waking. I think you have the wrong number. Silence. Then the voice again, still whispering. I can hear you upstairs. Her body went completely still. Her bedroom was upstairs. She lived on the top floor. There was no upstairs. A faint sound came from above her ceiling. A soft creak, like someone was shifting their weight. Dana stared upward. The voice on the phone whispered again. You dropped something. At that exact moment, her house keys hit the hallway floor outside her bedroom. A sharp metallic clatter. Dana gasped. Her keys had been downstairs on the kitchen counter. She hadn't moved them. Her heart pounded so hard she could hardly feel it in her throat. Who is this? She whispered. No answer. Just breathing. Then the line went dead. Dana didn't move for almost a full minute. Then she forced herself out of bed and into the hallway. Her keys lay on the floor, exactly where they'd fallen. She grabbed them and ran downstairs on the front door. Called police from outside and waited. Officers arrived within minutes and searched the house. Nothing downstairs. Nothing in the closets. Nothing under the beds. Then one officer noticed a small cleaning panel in the upstairs hallway. An attic crawl space. They opened it. Inside they found blankets, food wrappers, water bottles, a flashlight, and a prepaid phone. Whoever had been living up there had been there for a while. The call had come from inside the house. Dana moved out 3 days later. The landlord never confirmed how long the crawl space had been occupied, but one detail stayed with her. The officer reviewing the phone records told her the prepaid phone had only made one call at 3:18 a.m. to her number. Now, 4 stories tonight. The security camera, the hotel room, the GPS, and the call from upstairs. Only one of them is true. The other 3, complete imagination and fiction. Which one actually happened? Take a moment. Think about it. Which story felt just real enough to bother you? Make your decision now. Pop over to my Discord or my Facebook group. Make your selection in the poll I will be posting. And later on in the week, during the next episode, I will reveal the truth. I'm Quackster, and this is Quack in the Dark. Before you go to sleep tonight, listen to your house. Just for a moment. Most sounds are easy to explain, but some aren't. Good night.